Hey, what's going on guys? DeJesus here, and today we're going to be looking at beginner customizer mistakes that I think everybody should try to avoid. Now, all of these are without a doubt mistakes that I've made in the past, but I think it can be really valuable for you to try to learn from the mistakes of others. And interestingly enough, one of the things that I've learned on this entire journey is just how passionate I truly am about trying to help you guys grow your custom sneaker business. And all of these mistakes that we'll be talking about in today's video are absolutely without a doubt, like I said, mistakes that I made certainly when starting out. So one of the first most common mistakes that I'll see is not paying attention to the surface that you're working on. Different materials are going to require different additives, whether you're working on a soft material such as suede, nubuck, prime knit, mesh, or even a sock liner. That's when you're going to want to use a fabric medium additive into any of your paints to try to keep some of that softness with them. And if you're working on a bit more of a rigid porous surface such as a back tab on a Jordan 3 or 4, that's when you're going to want to use an additive like a film hardener with all of your paints. However, these materials can be a little bit harder to paint anyway. You're probably a little more susceptible to paint cracking down the road, so sometimes it's better to just work the factory color of them into your design. Also, there's sometimes materials that you just don't want to paint at all, such as the outsoles of any shoes. I think so many people have the misconception with a lot of materials that all you need to do is add a little bit of adhesion promoter, throw something like a scratch sealer on there, and then they're going to be good to go, but that's definitely not always the case. Number 2 is going to be using the wrong materials or supplies when you're just starting out. When you're just starting out, it's totally understandable to want to try to do things on a budget, but there's just certain things that you don't want to skimp out on. The paint that I've used for the entire duration of my career is Angelus acrylic leather paint, and we very regularly get asked if there's any cheap alternatives. If you were to use any of the cheap acrylic paints that do come from Michaels, none of those are going to be flexible with the shoes, therefore they're going to lead to paint cracking very easily, and then all of your hard work is going to go right down the drain. Another supply mistake that we'll see is wanting to use some type of markers for customizing shoes, whether that be Posca pens or Sharpies. These are not really meant to hold up long term for customizing shoes. They do work a little bit better if you're just working on canvas such as Vans or something like that, but they're not going to hold up if you're working on something like a pair of all leather Air Force Ones, Jordan 1s, or anything along those lines. So I definitely recommend picking up a nice value pack of brushes. The preferred ones that I've been using for quite a while is the Princeton Select series. These work great and can go a long way in helping you avoid those dreaded brush strokes in your work. Number 3 is not being original. The last thing you want to do is fall under the category or get grouped into the box of only replicating other brands' work on sneakers, such as things like LV or Gucci Drip or whatever the hype colorway or theme is at the time. These things are of course great attention grabbers and a product that most likely a lot of people will like, but what happens when you finally decide to put out something from your own creativity? People are a lot less likely to pay attention if they're only used to you doing those types of things. So I think it can still be a great idea to mix these in, maybe put your own spin on them, but you don't want to only get by on recreating other brands' work. Remember, people are also most likely purchasing these because of association with that brand, rather than necessarily purchasing a piece from you that they want that comes from you and your own creativity and artistic flair. Number 4 is all about not painting colors correctly. Now this one's a deep cut, and there's no way that you could necessarily know this when you're just starting out or if you've never experienced this before. And so this can lead you down a winding road of never really being able to get your color very solid, having it appear darker in certain areas, lighter in certain areas, and not necessarily knowing why. And so you most likely are going to continue to add more paint, do more layers, and this is going to lead you to no longer having any flexibility with your paint. So the way that we can combat this is by using our paint buildup technique. Now this can vary from surface to surface, but essentially what it boils down to is mixing a whole lot more white or even mist into some of your base layers. What this white mixed in is essentially doing is giving us some better primer or base coats for our final color to eventually lie on. This same buildup technique is also how you would achieve some of the really bright, vibrant neon and metallic colors. So this is not only going to give you more solid color, but it's also going to cut down on the total amount of coats that you'll need to do. Number 5 is going to be all about rushing to get done with a project. The finishing touches are definitely where you can separate an amateur versus professional feel to your project. What this usually entails is going back to make sure that you touch up any edges of your various panels, cleaning up any mistakes such as tape residue or or if you were to have taped off your midsole, going back and making sure that you remove any paint that did get on there. A little secret to being a great customizer is being really good at cleaning up mistakes, because they are bound to happen. Number 6 is going to be taking on too much work. Now, once things really get rolling for you, it's very easy to want to take on every single order humanly possible. But we also live in a day and age where everybody wants things instantly. But we're creating custom artwork, and this is not a process that you want to rush. So it's really important to be upfront and honest with your clients about expected turnaround times. And if you were to look into increasing your turnaround times, although this could potentially turn some people away, the last thing you want to do is give unrealistic expectations to your clients. Customer satisfaction, of course, one of the biggest things in any business, and if you want to find out if somebody's a good customizer, go ahead and take a look at how their customers react to them if they're coming back for more. And our last tip, which comes right after taking on too much work, is not taking the time to create for yourself. It's incredibly easy to just fall into that hamster wheel of doing client order after client order and never separating the time for you to create something for yourself to wear or potentially test out various forms of artwork. This also falls in line with what we talked about earlier about being original. This gives you time to test out different forms of art, which could potentially lead to you finding your own voice in your own style. So take the time, push some customer orders to the side for a bit, and create something just for you. And those are our most common beginner mistakes. Like I said, each and every single one of those is definitely something that I've done in the past. So hopefully you were able to take away a little something from today's video, and maybe you can avoid one of these mistakes down the road on your customizing journey. Also, if you guys are interested in even learning more about all things custom sneakers, be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter. We will have that linked in the description. Also, while you're there, be sure to come join us over at the official Toothpick Gang Discord. But otherwise, I'm DeJesus, and we'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this week's video. We're finally going through all of the entries for the DCF Floral contest. You guys absolutely killed it. Definitely our best contest so far. It is going to be a nightmare selecting a final 4. But as always guys, get out there and just create.